Hello and welcome to Probability of Demise. Making that sound as weird as possible.
Good job.
Welcome to Probability of Demise. I am Rurik. I will be GMing for this lovely game that we're all playing together. These are my friends who put up with my double hockey sticks.
That weird voice you did when we started.
Yeah, that and multiple other things you put up with from me. We are
the GM. Weird voice is kind of your jam, so
as long as I'm sticky. Jam sticky.
Wah, wah,
we apologize for our
Larissa,
puns, memes,
I would like to call on you for a sad trombone.
What is that?
I'm calling on Larissa for a sad trombone.
I feel like you gotta get closer into that again.
Yeah, take 2.
Take 3. Just do it again.
No.
11 more times.
Welcome to the podcast, Probability of Demise. We clearly are a mature group of tight-knit friends. Definitely wanted to invite you to join us. We are switching to a summer schedule starting June 18th. So we're going to be on Saturdays. We are going to try to bring in some guests and change things up and have a little bit of fun. And then for most of the summer after the 18th, we will be remote. And we'll see what happens from there in terms of our format. Who's here, who's not here.
They say as they make plans to leave while the rest of us stay here, so.
It's just, I'm trying to be a substantive reason for relocation. Okay, never mind. So we are playing Dungeons and Dragons in a world of our own creation, so this is definitely homebrew. I have lost all the lines from before. Our writer is going to write me a script one day.
Not homebrew.
And otherwise, having a blast and doing cool things together.
This is our pod we met during the pandemic.
Oh yeah, pod. We met during the pandemic. I did say we apologize in advance for our memes and puns, but there was a third thing that we added. What was last time?
Puns and swear words? I don't know.
No, there was a third thing last
time. The third thing.
As you can tell, we all have great memories.
Yeah, solid. I have to
Which character am I again?
What?
So which character am I again?
Oh, yeah. I'm getting focused here. So, going around the circle.
I'm Tanzanite. Hi, I'm Jess, and I joined the circus, but I'm back now. And, yeah.
Okay, so who are you?
Beach and,
I'm Bonnie, and
Imagine if somebody were to tune in right on this one for the first time.
Oh my god, they'd be so lost. And what the fuck are with these people?
Do you want to do real intros?
And I'm not real.
Please.
So, I'm Rurik, I'm the GM. This...
Hi. Right, well,
I'll let you do it.
Okay. Hi, I'm Larissa. I play Trixie.
I'm Jessica, and I'm Tanzanite.
I'm Jason, and I play Asher.
Awesome. So,
awesome.
Transitioning over to our other stuff, like announcements. Larissa.
Tomorrow, Thursday, June 9th, is Stonewall's first live Pride concerts and since 2019. We will be doing show-stopping choruses from Broadway and opera. So if you are interested in coming, we will be singing at 7:30 p.m. at Church of the Holy Apostles in Chelsea. You can get tickets at stonewallcorral.org/buy-tickets. Tickets range from $20 to $50. If you buy online ahead of time, then it's cheaper. Otherwise, I think there's like a $5 more expensive at the door. But yeah, it's going to be great.
Also not guaranteed to be available at the door, so better to buy in advance.
Yes, if you can, definitely buy them in advance. I think the cutoff is tonight at midnight. I think that's when they stop taking online ticket orders. So
awesome. Jason, do you have any announcements for us?
Nope. You want me to?
I think we should try out just to see if you could pull it off.
Oh boy. Okay.
So the three of us are going to come up with a product for Jason to sell after our break. We're not going to have a real break today, but we'll have a pretend one just so that we can have Jason do a commercial for us. So,
My vote's still lamps.
all right. Lamps. Okay. I like the idea of lamps, but I feel like they have to be lamps that are innovative. Innovative.
Innovative?
That word.
What?
Innovative.
What kind of innovative lamps are there?
I don't
Just
know.
your standard, like, desk lamp?
It has to be something like
Schwanky?
shrink. Yeah. Yeah. Just like,
High tech?
or super low tech. What if it was the opposite? Never mind.
A torch,
Yes.
like with a wall sconce.
We're literally bringing back the oil lamp. All right. And are you ready for that later?
We'll figure it out.
All right. And Jess,
Yeah.
what is the word of the day?
The word of the day is smoothie. A smoothie.
If you have to eat on the go, but you still want to eat healthy, eat a...
Smoothie.
We've been enjoying how Jess says smoothie with a V, smoothie, all day.
Smoothie.
It's so fun if you have to explain it.
I'm not convinced that wasn't fun.
I've learned recently I change words a lot.
Sorry.
Right, I change my underwear a lot, so we all have changes.
I don't.
Oh, you.
It's not because she doesn't
just
change
kidding.
her
I don't wear
underwear. She
underwear.
doesn't wear underwear. Commando. I'm
No
making stuff
judgment.
up.
No judgment. That is entirely a valid choice.
I wear underwear.
No,
do.
that's the sweat. Ooh. Yeah.
I mean, there's not much underwear, but there's underwear.
A thin triangle piece of fabric.
Check out our Facebook page at Probability of Demise for pictures of Jess's underwear. That's good. I made that up.
Only fans for $10.
And bam.
Oh, no, it's our Andy fans. Okay.
My
So
jaw
I've been
doesn't work.
experimenting with audio things, and I think I'm gonna have to switch this back over because it's driving me nuts.
Yeah, me too.
Okay, so I'm gonna, while we're live, I'm gonna mess with our audio.
Do it. Testing. It's still weird.
Yeah. Give me a second. Okay.
Testing. It's still weird.
All right.
Are we there yet?
We are there. I just need to put it back on to our hearing. There we go.
Hey, that's better.
So hopefully we'll still be able to hear our theme music, and we're going to be turning that up just now just to test it, and then we're going to get started with our game. Yeah, there we are. So without a delay caused by technology, I was trying to give us a chance to hear what we actually sound like on YouTube, because it's very different from what we sound like in the room, but there's a nice audio delay that messes that all up.
I don't mind it with y'all, but then when I start talking,
Yeah.
It actually made me slow down what I was saying so
too.
that I could make sure I was saying the right thing. And then I had 4-syllable words and I was like, I can't say it.
It's like when you, those like jammer headphones.
Yeah.
When people try to talk.
Oh, yeah. I was
Do it
trying.
because it's...
I know how to say innovative. And I was
Innovative.
just pulling out a casual pocket pancake.
Larissa has pocket pancakes. Speaking of pocket pancakes or not, welcome back to Atland, where you have been traveling. I'm just going with the name of the continent, but we are, because we have left Overton, which is actually where we started our planning and adventures, and it kind of seeded a world. But we are in the overall continent of Atland, and meandering to a location known as Canyonville. The group had left Fisherton after, at least as far as they're aware, allowing some forces to protect the citizenry and then reclaimed their friend from a group of kidnappers. They have no idea currently why she was nabbed, unless they do, because I don't think they do. But they spent some time in the...
But the good news is we killed a bunch of the people responsible.
Yes, there was a lot of murder. They decided to spend a little time both cleaning up and resting in the sacrificial grove, which is, that wasn't exactly, I don't think, any of their first choice. It was just became default after a series of investigations. It was...
We were tired.
Yeah, tired, and also...
And we had to absorb blood from the ground and shoot blobs at trees. Do very important other tasks.
That's a royal we. That is not a collective we.
Yeah, so
Me and the voices in my head.
the voices in your head did a good job, and I think Bonnie enjoyed it a little as well. Not that she shot globs of blood, and in fact, Bonnie's use of this bow has not included gross things so far. I'm impressed, actually. I thought it would go
I
wrong.
forgot to do the thing that you told us to do.
And at the end of the session, we leveled up. So, because I did go on to the site and saw that none of you did it. None of you.
I love how I was like,
We
I'm
were
going
all
to sit
gonna do
here
it.
and
We're
do
gonna
it.
do it right
And then
now.
we didn't do it.
Because we did the dice.
So
Oh, we
what
did the
I would love
dice.
to have happen right now is just for the first time kind of live, I think this is the first time we've done it live, I want to pull the dice all together in public. And so I'm assuming everybody's still taking levels in their current class unless somebody had thoughts otherwise.
I'm going to take 2 levels in Ninja.
I want to be a barbarian.
Really?
No.
Oh, that would be awesome. Can you imagine a barbarian death cleric? Like,
That's scary. And so everybody's going to roll 2 of their health dice because we are in... I wanted to move this campaign along a little bit more quickly. It's like it's early days of this post-apocalyptic space, and they are individuals who are showing unique promise in terms of the new talents and abilities that have been out there. So every time we've leveled, we've actually leveled 2 levels. So they will now, at the end of this, be level 9, I believe. So click, clack, are you rolling first? The double D8s?
yes.
Did you get double 8s?
No.
No, but she got high roll.
I did get a high one.
That was an 8 and a 5 for her
Why am I
health.
locked
That's
out?
rocking it. So, who's ready next? Sweet bardic powers. Too bad you can't get inspiration on your own hit dice.
6 and a 4.
6. That's also beautiful. That's 10 extra points into your hit point pool. And clerical
Nice.
1.
I don't know what I'm doing still. Leveling up has never been easy for me for some reason.
Okay.
It's always confusing.
So you're going to be rolling.
Should be 2d8s?
I think it's d8s, but my memory is terrible. I believe it's.
Where are my
D8s.
characters?
Wait, are you logged in with the right email?
I don't think I am. Let me.
Is everything
You know,
going?
it's
Oh no.
How do I log out? What is happening?
it's terrible. I've played so many clerics, and I really want to say it's d8s, but then like once it's time to actually roll those things, I'm like,
If you
I don't
want to
trust
fast
myself.
forward it, go to the app first and then go to edit character on website.
Ooh, okay.
yeah, that does pick things up a little bit faster.
Okay, so character.
Hit dice, hit points.
Oh!
So what you rolling? 2d8s.
Manage. Level up. Our character.
All right. Those of you who have never played before and you're like, wow,
Why is Jessica confused like I am?
don't worry. We've been playing now for 2 years.
And I still can't do it.
And I've been playing since I was a kid. I still can't. I mean, I have multiple systems in my head that all mess me up anyways, but yeah.
The good news is we're also all bad at math.
Okay, so this says
We play with Shiny Math Rocks for fun.
hit dice cleric 78.
So that's,
So-
so that's when you got to level 7. So you're going to go to level 8 and 9. That means you can roll 2 new d8s in that
Perfect.
space where it has a number. You're adding those to that number. So where it says
35?
35, you're going to add whatever you
Whatever I get.
rolling. And we re-roll ones.
Goes in and shuffle.
That was epic.
The rest is a loud sneezer.
This one?
It's a lovable trait.
It's a levelable trait. Double pyramids. Pyramids stuck to each other's butts.
You cold?
No, I got goosebumps from sneezing, and then
7 and a 3.
All right. Hey, that's 2 people who got 10. That's sweet. So 2 10s and a epic 13.
wow.
Added to the collective hit point pool. That is 33 points of health. So you know what that means. The monsters are going to be harder. And as they continue to do their leveling up, I'm going to just quickly riff for a second because you have spells to add, you have new abilities and things like that.
Guess what I can do now?
Oh, what do you finally got?
I can run up walls.
I'm moving your mic to you because I couldn't hear a single
I
thing.
know. I can run up walls and
You are now a wall runner. Wall runner. I believe there's more to it than that. You've got wall running, but what didn't you get? A level 8? Didn't you get a feat or
I
ability score
did.
increase to do?
You can do a feat or ability scores.
I don't know. What am I going to do?
I maxed out my dexterity.
That's smart.
We
And
My charisma's already maxed, or I could.
You can't-
sorry about that.
My wisdom is +4.
the word of the day is still smooth.
Brought to you by Smoothies. Suck them till they're gone.
Nope, my charisma's 19 for that.
Suck them till they're dry.
I mean, so what I will say about this possibly, there are a couple of feats that give a single ability score increase. So you could look at those feats that have a charisma +1 and then have like that nice mix, or you could actually put 2 ability scores into 2 different things that maybe there's something you wished it was a little bit higher and wanted to buff up a little bit. So up to you, abilities or...
I feel like you keep making me roll for wisdom, and my wisdom is 11.
And 1 point would jump you up a whole point in your ability checks and saves. So might be worth doing. I don't know. And the other thing that's happening right now is because I think you've all hit the place where you get to... What up?
I'm just looking at my modifiers now.
Yeah, I mean, I think everybody's modifiers went up because you have another... Unless I'm wrong, you have another point to your proficiency bonuses. You went from +3 to +4, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that's super awesome. And this definitely means amazing things for each of you. I think the funniest thing that, besides the wall running, that you have as a monk is that your... oh gosh, what was it called? Is this now when you got the stillness of mind?
No, I had that
Oh,
at level 7.
okay.
Just didn't really have a...
I hadn't tried to charm you recently. I think that's an oversight on my part. I apologize. I'll try to make sure you get hit by that a few times.
My level 8 perk or level 9 perk is unarmored movement improvement, which is you can move along vertical surfaces and across liquids on your turn without falling during the move.
It's such an awesome bonus to everything. And I think this also bumps both of our casters up to another tier of spells.
Possible.
It does.
Yeah.
I get 5th level spells now.
Yeah. So
Hang on,
there's
what's
a
your-
whole host of things there.
What's your persuasion modifier now?
I don't know again.
The other fun thing is,
Still 10.
I don't know if this happened this level, these 2 levels or before for our cleric, but she now has Sentinel at Death's Door, which is a reaction. And it's always nice to have fun little reactions. Basically, anybody she sees within 30 feet who suffers a crit can turn that into a normal hit.
Nice.
And
Help me remember, folks.
any effects triggered by that critical hit are canceled. She gets that 3 times per long rest.
Wow.
So she might need to remember to use that. And then she also has potent spell casting, which is, I don't know if that's just all spellcasters, I can't remember, but she gets to add 3 to the damage she deals with any clerical cantrip. Now we use D&D Beyond as our tool, so it will automatically calculate that out for her, but that means your cantrips are keeping up with your other spells, which I find very, very cool.
This is so hard. There's so many things.
There's a ton of choices, and it's kind of ridiculous. For our bard, the exciting thing, and I'm trying to share these things because it is exciting, but I'm also sharing this because I believe that when you're new to playing and you've never played before, it's just fun to hear about all the crazy things in people's skill list. Now, my memory is terrible with the Bard editions, but I've been reading up on Asher's specific class because it's brand new and it's super exciting. And I think your animating performance got an upgrade. Yes. It lives for an hour, but doesn't it get something else right now, or is that just in my
I'm in the middle of spell list right now.
All right, cool. And then he also has a thing. I think he's had it for a while, the counter charm, and it's basically for an entire round. He has to use an action to do it, but for an entire round, he gives himself and friendly creatures, that's y'all that are within 30 feet of him, that can hear him, advantage on saving throws against being frightened or charmed. So you've now reached a point where charming is going to be a lot harder for my creatures and monsters. So those are all fun things coming up and interesting score increases in the wild. I'm going to go ahead and give us an auditory pause while they finish this.
Me. Boo.
Bye for a minute.
Now I'm gonna go back and check.
Unpaused. Boots and cats and boots and cats and boots and cats
And
boots and cats. I was ridiculously proud of that slowdown. It's so dumb.
Wait for our next intermission video where you see Rurik with their turntables just making this song.
I do have turntables. I'm not taking them with me when I move though, so
That was actually
Really?
leaving them at the school.
I could begin my DJing career.
All right.
Never mind.
Oh, were you interested? Because I do have like 3 sets. They're not like high-end ones, but they're nice. They function.
You don't have
Depends.
dark
Are you going to let me buy them from her? Or are you going
You don't have
just give them
goggles
to
and
me?
Sure.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Welcome back to the podcast. We finished up our adding.
We leveled up.
We all leveled.
Leveled.
We're level 9.
Oh, there are also so many fun things gonna happen to them, and I don't know if I can handle it. Too excited.
Hey, Rurik. What
Yes.
did the Germans say when you told them to level up?
9.
We're level 9.
All right, welcome back, and we are gonna go ahead and. I swear I heard the theme music, but it's just in my head.
Oh, do you think we should turn that fan up?
It's fine because
Right.
that's why I was trying to get us to hear what they actually hear because it's cut out on the OBS. So here you are in this grove,
Grove of Death.
and just for peace, it's morning time. To paint a picture for our audience, they've been in this grove. Trees are growing pretty closely. There is a little bit of red staining still from the sacrificial area, but there's now a burn area where bodies were burned, and then a campfire made right in the middle of it. So it's a little grisly with, the charred remains of bones and such, but otherwise, it is a close-knit space, slightly open, not a huge opening in the canopy. Evergreen trees kind of encircling the space, and as they move further and further visually from them, you can make up. There's a bit of a break here in the tree line, but it's definitely a dense part of the forest. And then panning out even further, like a hawk might or a peregrine falcon might, we can see that they are north of Fisherton, at least visually, and in terms of whatever north means in an octopolar world. And there's a small community up along a trail just kind of north and east of their current position. And then any further out, I would be giving away things that I'm not planning on giving away. What are the three of you planning and up to?
Well, I mean, are we still gonna go to Canyonville?
I mean, yeah, we still have to go do Nee's.
Oh, yeah, the contract thingy.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. You were there for that, right? Yeah. Because your dad was there.
What's the contract?
They want to set up.
A
like,
lot has happened. I'm very sad.
We have to set up a trade route between
the
Overton and
Yeah.
we have to
Yeah.
negotiate
And like
something.
the weird druids in the trees. Those people. They were freaky. Well, not, I don't mean that as like a bad thing. They freaked me out a little.
You found them.
Yeah, weren't you?
I
weren't
didn't find the people in the trees. Did I find the people in the trees? I didn't find people in trees.
Yeah, the druid. You. Where,
No.
where was she?
You
In a
were-
box.
No.
This was
You were
before
on
we
your
left
way
Overton.
to her, or no? You were there.
When did we meet? Oh, yeah.
I love you so much.
This actually works for Tanzanite too. So like that might have been a little meta for some people, but that was actually very Tanzanite. I don't remember a druid in the tree. My father was there. That was a bigger deal. Father was there.
Yes. Great. I'm on the same page now, my friends.
All right. So, I wasn't awake for all of that. So
Right.
I know you filled me in sort of. What are we going to do now?
Yeah. Why don't you fill Bonnie in onto what we're doing so that, she understands what's going on.
This is why a DM inserts an NPC. They need help. They need somebody to prompt.
I mean,
Okay, so your dad brought us a contract from Nee. Like, they want us.
My dad is half of my parent. He helped birth me. He created me. That's... Okay, continue.
Yes, and
I'm just helping to explain what's going on because I know what's happening.
How do land creatures spawn?
not with eggs.
Not with eggs yet.
Oh,
Well,
we
there
don't-
are eggs. They don't come out.
Really?
Yeah. The lady...
do you know what a dolphin is?
No, we don't do eggs either.
Do you copulate?
I don't.
Not you personally. Your
She's blushing really bright blue.
purple. Your sorry, just your species. Well, I mean, you're
I'm
purple.
human.
Yes, we're human. No, I'm not human. I'm human-ish.
Human... You're about as human as Bonnie?
I'm human-ish.
We're all human.
All right, great. So we all have parents create life
All of
the
our
same way.
Parents.
I don't want to think about my parents doing anything with each other.
Okay, great.
Okay,
so continue on.
Yes, that.
That, yes.
Oh my god, my grandparents had to too. Oh.
Yes.
Also, your great grandparents.
Come back, Bunny. Come back. Focus.
Yeah, you gotta focus so you know what's going on.
Okay, what are we doing?
And then Overton would like us to establish a trade relationship with the leadership in Canyonville.
Yes.
And Grand wants us to.
To also.
That too.
Do what are they trading? Overton has everything.
Overton gets
what you've
everything from
talked.
somewhere else.
Oh,
Like they don't grow their own food. They don't like they
what do they do?
make gems. They mine gems. That's
Well, I would have said a while ago that those aren't very useful, but I I'm alive, so
When
I
she
think
says
Overton
that,
does a lot.
I'm gonna go look. I'm gonna go look through the trade goods to see if there's anything useful
Okay.
in terms of.
In what way are you approaching this hunt?
Well, I think they were all gathered into a big pile, right? So,
Yeah, the ones that were not picked over by the folks you encouraged to go do.
Are there like sacks or bags or anything like?
How would you have had your unseen servant in hand go about collection?
Like it was literally just dropping them into a pile. So
Yeah, there's just a pile on the dirt.
but I mean like where her bag was and her stuff. Is there like any empty bags that I can like put this stuff into to carry it?
I mean, yeah, as she pulled things out, there were like various small satchels and things like that. So yeah, you could kind of like, it wouldn't be anything huge. It's not like a dice bag because dice bags are big. It'd be like a dice bag, and there's multiple of them around that
Okay.
discarded. Some of them have holes, some of them don't.
All right, I'm gonna take like
Actually, they couldn't see that single hole.
bags and sacks of various sizes and just like try to like sort the trade goods into like.
So you're like taking a serious amount of time to do this. Are you getting any help, or you just
I will call my unseen servant and my mage hand to help me.
okay? So because you're putting that extra effort in, I will give you advantage on a roll. This is, let's call it an investigation check, aka the sorting, unless you would prefer or can make a reason for something else.
Sorry, what is the trick?
Investigation.
I got a 5. The other one was a 3. That was with advantage.
With
That's
even
right. 5.
So 5, 8. I got an 8. I haven't found shit.
You sort things and then you realize you don't know what a diamond looks like. You've been in a city of gems, but you're a tavern brat. Why would you? And so you've sorted everything into these colors go here, these gold lumps go here, silver lumps here. This is really heavy. It's kind of silvery. That goes with the silvery. No, but it's heavy. And like kind of lost in the sorting process. And your mage hand and unseen servant kind of like follow what you're doing as well, and that makes the sorting happen really fast. But then you're sitting there like, I don't know if I actually saw.
Okay, Tanzanite.
Yes.
Do any of these look like a diamond you could use for that bring people back from a dead spell?
Let me see. Gimme.
They're all like sorted into little piles.
You see like little bags with different items, color coded and size coded.
Do any of them look useful for anything?
You're looking through them, so why don't you roll? You're like looking into each bag.
Yeah.
Roll an investigation check.
Investigation. How is that so low? Yeah. 6.
You too are distracted. You find a bag full of topaz jewels, and it's so pretty. And your attention is there with the reds, the greens, the ambers. There's pretty treasures.
This one's super important. And I put it in my pocket.
Okay. All right.
But I mean, take all of them.
Good.
You never know.
I'm gonna take all this stuff and put it like on the little cart that we were gonna steal.
All right. Anybody else have anything that they're going to add to this really rough roll situation?
I didn't get asked to help, so it's fine.
Son of a bitch! I just took the lucky feat and I forgot about it already.
All right. Okay. So, you kind of trying to figure out where you're going and how you're going.
Let's push on to the village.
Are we gonna keep doing what we did before, or are we all just gonna walk?
I think it's like walking distance, right?
Yeah, from your flight location as you had landed 2 days ago now.
Hey, Bonnie, how far away was the village from here? Because she was a flyer.
Well, if we walk back to the road, we could get a little bit closer, and then we'd have to walk a little bit, but it would just be a little bit. If we just walk straight, and don't run into anything. It should just be a day. Like, we'll be there before evening.
So cut through the woods and it would take less time, or go to the road and it'll take more time.
Maybe we should go to the road if we're going to pull this cart.
Yeah. And I mean, the only reason we were trying to, like, hasten was because we were trying to catch them. So I think we're good on the road.
Okay.
What do you think, Tansy?
Sounds good to me.
As Tanzanite is neck deep in her new spells and channeling and trying to figure out all these different
I'm
things,
still learning.
she just kind of follows the two of you. Who's handling the sledge?
I will. I think I'm the strongest one.
All right, just are you taking the front or somebody else leading the way?
Yeah, comically, I will be the one, like, heavying it up.
Okay. So what I would love to have happen is I would love you to roll a strength check with advantage. Totally fine. And the two of you with disadvantage because you're busy in your spells, roll a dexterity saving throw.
$19.
15.
Okay. With your 19, you're like right behind her and you keep seeing these branches snap back and you're not having any problem. You're so small that you don't even notice most of them, but the sledge every once in a while catches something and you just hear every once in a while the thwack, and you can kind of hear the bard behind you. And you're walking along, and at first you're dodging, but those spells, they just call to you, and you look down and you're thinking about, tomorrow morning I can really think about it, and I could do, and as you're thinking that, you look up and it's just a full leafy tree branch. It's not leaves, it's pine, so it's even worse. It just comes flying at you and you barely duck in time, and you're reminded that while walking one should look.
Just like,
Look up. Playing a game of what? Fuck.
Must be a New Yorker. Doesn't look up.
Following in the back, Bonnie is walking along and she sees you duck and she's like, I wonder why she ducked. And then not 10 seconds later, you hear, ah!
Oh. Bonnie's back to rolling shit again.
Yeah. It had to go someday.
Did Bonnie bring her own dice and not the DM dice today?
I rolled her. Do I have her dice in here? Yeah, I do. I should have rolled her dice. Dang it.
Rude.
I made her suffer.
What did Bonnie ever do to you?
All right, so you all make it back to the road. I think it becomes substantially easier. With your earlier strength check, it was like, oh, this is kind of getting stuck. But then once you're on the road, it's smooth. Smooth walking. You're not having any trouble at all. And
You didn't even ask me what the number
walking.
was.
I saw what it was. Isn't it this one?
Yeah, but plus 9.
Yeah.
Okay, just checking.
I mean, it's
Or
a
6, rather 6.
with the
I'm
wood.
not dyslexic.
It's fine. With the woods and everything, it's hard.
Yeah.
No matter what.
Yeah.
But once you hit the road, because I saw you rolled way above what I had, I was like, if it was going to be a bad roll, then I would have asked you for specifics. But 10 and above, I was like, this is totally fine when you hit the road.
Okay.
You just get into the groove and you know exactly how to move this sledge along the pathway. Would be nice if it had wheels, but whatever.
Once we're on the road, I'm gonna be like, do you need any help?
No, but you can take over for me when I get tired.
Okay.
All right, so marching along, could someone roll 2d12s? We'll see if anything interesting happens as you walk the last day.
Seven and a 4.
4 and a 4.
So 11 total. Clouds had threatened a day or two ago, but things are clearing up. It's bright and the weather's going well. You hear birds singing, and it is a great day to be traveling. Every once in a while, a lone cloud will scuttle across the sky and give you a temporary reprieve from the heat of the sun and chill you just a tiny bit. and then as it moves away, you get warmed back up again. It's
Quiet.
magical.
Too quiet. No, I don't trust you, so this is fun.
As Larissa, all I'm going to say is once the birds stop tweeting, that's when I'll start to
Right.
worry.
Right.
I'm going to keep an eye out just for tracks of, like, along the road. Just keep, like, kind of study as a way to keep my mind busy while I'm just dragging this. So I'm just, like, studying the road, analyzing the tracks, and seeing if there were other carts that passed by recently, or if there were animals that crossed the road. I'm just to
Go ahead and roll a survival check to see how much you're able to ascertain as you're doing this. No advantage or disadvantage, just a generic.
your debut. You have never rolled high enough to actually play with. Survival?
Lecturing dice, part of Larissa's process.
God, it's so hard to read. 13.
Okay. There's definitely a crisscrossing of tracks. Age is just a matter of which layer, but interpreting layers is kind of the problem because these are not maintained roads. These are game trails that have been adopted by humans.
Yeah.
And it's any light rain washes out the tracks or deepens the muddy spots. There are what could be prints from 1,000 years ago in the mud, or they could have been from yesterday. And then they're crisscrossed with some cart tracks, so it's apparently there is some human traffic through here. And at one point you even spot ones that look very much like the sledges tracks. And as you continue along, that's kind of the tenor of this pathway / game trail. It occasionally you see that there's some improvements where someone took the time at a place where the stones were too steep in an area for the path and broke them down a bit and created a slight ramp. It's not great because it means it's extra work for you to pull up and over with a sledge, but it's better than having to traverse a rock wall. And the cliff face to the right as you're walking along this path continues to deepen, and looking down, it's almost like a deep cutaway, and looking across and further down, you can see that there's another vague blue forest off in the distance. You know, as things Doppler out in greater distances, it's this like fuzzy blue morass, but it's below, and it creates this gorgeous vista of bright light blue sky to white to the blues of the trees in the distance, and then as it meanders forward, the blues transition into that bright green of grass and such far below, up against a cliff face that is dark and gray. And then, of course, the path that you're on with some wildflowers growing on either side, and the path itself is beaten tan for the most part until you get to the little piles of rocks that previously broke the path, but have been, especially as you get further and further up, more and more refined, and the day goes well, and you arrive at a tiny little outpost of a village. It's thatch huts. It looks like there's a cave that serves as some sort of central point. There are people watching as you approach. Could everybody just roll a perception check, and I'll see what sort of descriptions I give you all.
Oh my god.
I'm shit.
Did
it fall in the bag?
No.
7.
How did you go?
I think for
No.
Asher, as we wait for their rolls, Asher, what you see first is you see a woman doing some washing at a tiny little bucket, and who knows what she's washing, because that doesn't dent your attention whatsoever. What's fully gained your eyes is the fact that she seems to have a snout that's unusually long and a little bit facile and moves. And you've not seen a person like this. And then as you look at her even more closely, and this is why you don't see other things in the village, is because you're seeing a new being. Her ears are long, floppy, and
Is she a
she
pooper?
maybe has tusks.
Okay.
But the nose is what really captures your attention, because while her two hands are large and dexterous, her nose seems to be doing a lot more of the fine work as she's continuing to scrub and wash in this half-barrel bucket. And that's where your attention lies. What did you get?
19.
What did you get?
27.
You see everything.
With a 19, you clock this, but you're also seeing the way village life is run. There is a central space around an old cave that seems to be the focus, and seems to have some ceremonial aspects, which you identify quickly based on your own background. Ceremonies make sense to you, and you're quickly clocking that that's a feature, that there's some sort of I hesitate to call it a religious center, because it does not match that to you, but definitely the place of ritual and or politics and discussion and whatever politics exists in a tiny place like this. And there is an older individual with the same features sitting on a slightly raised cushion with a cluster of young creatures, some with cat-like features, some with features that look very much like yours or like Asher's, some that have a more scaly cast to them, but in the parlance of Overton, they're all humans. And these young creatures are very much attending to that. With a 27, what you note is that nobody ever goes in or out of the cave. And that stands out as a place that is the center of their lives, and seems to be the center of where every door points inward. Nothing points out. Those who are there, and you make out a couple of people who you recognize. You recognize them as the people you sent a day ahead to go back home. And they are performing what looks like casual guard duty. They're engaged in other tasks. And as you notice, and you're kind of able to clock out and figure out where those folks who were tasked with the guard duties are, you also clock the woman that Asher has kind of full attention on, because she trumpets out something. And you see life in the village halt. The children, the elder, scatter in different directions, and people begin to take up a little bit of a defensive stance as you approach. It doesn't look like it's high alarm, but it does look like there's enough of a reaction that these people are not completely pastoral and relaxed, but rather wary and as defensible as they can be given the situation that they have going on.
I'm gonna slow down to a stop and see if I can catch the eye of the people that we rescued, then kind of give them a wave.
All right. Can you just really quickly roll just a clean charisma check?
15.
All right. one of them, the same one that was the youngest from before, notes you all, and as others are preparing, you see them raise their hand, wave, and then they shout something unintelligible, but it's clearly something they're shouting back over their shoulder. Anybody who wants to, go ahead and roll an insight check.
Used up the blue dice last week. 10.
Okay.
Only 11.
22.
Wow. Wow. The two insight people versus... Okay, so what you both see is just people getting to arms, and that puts you on edge. What you see is that there's a lessening in their tension as they continue to prepare themselves and switch out implements of trade and work for implements of defense.
We should just stay here and let them come to us, unless we're just going to pass them by.
What time of day is it?
At this point, it's late afternoon, early evening. The sun is partly.
I thought we would
evening.
at least try to stay a night here.
I mean, we can, but we could just set up camp here, because I don't know.
Wait, Jessica. Is this Canyonville? Do we know this, or is this just an outpost?
This is
This is like
halfway to Canyonville on our map.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm on the same page now. Okay.
Okay.
This is where the kids that...
Yes,
Yeah.
that you went to.
Okay. Do you want me to go talk to them?
I mean, yeah, just I would make sure that, maybe leave a gun here, or, it's something for a show of good faith. I think they're a little wary since...
We
The
certainly want to be on our best behavior if we're trying to implement trade routes that will absolutely go through this town or this little cropping.
Okay. I'm going to take off my gun belt / sword belt and hand it to Trixie. And then I'm going to walk up into the town.
Before he goes, I'm going to just do... Not that I'll need it. Do you wanna... Just go. Try not to be too much like yourself and give guidance.
For those listening, she gingerly tapped him on the shoulder.
Yes.
So, yeah, your approach. What does your approach look like as you're going up?
I'm going to walk
Guidance.
like with my hands out.
Not that you can
like,
roll that.
kind of at my sides, just like
Is it a 4?
at like a normal walking speed, but just like so they can see that I'm not doing anything weird.
As you walk up, you see a woman. You think she seems to be mirroring your stance. Her ears are out, and she's approaching you. And you hear her guardedly, in rough approximation of the language you speak. Are you with them?
Probably not, but who are you talking about?
The kids say you won't, but you're carrying the sledge.
Oh,
Are you the poachers of people?
No, we took this from them, but we are not with them. We just needed it to help carry our stuff.
You say you took it from them. Are you taking from us as well?
No, we saw that they were killing your people over there, so we stopped them, and then they all either died or ran away. And so they left us behind, and we took it because we needed it. But we're not here to hurt anybody, and we come as friends and come in peace.
Can we hear this whole interaction from where we are?
Roll a perception check to see if you can hear.
7, right? It went up.
We're actually hoping just to maybe stay the night. We can stay over there out of your way. Just safety in numbers, and then we'll be on our way to Canyonville.
You're going to Canyonville?
Yes.
Dirty 20.
You can hear.
23.
23. I'm going to teach you sign language just so I can get numbers from you. Yeah, you as well can hear. Well, we owe you, but we have some grieving to do as well.
Okay.
We were prepping for maybe it's right you're here too, and and she sighs, and you hear a little bit of it, like it's a natural mannerism given her anatomy, but you hear a little bit of and as she, it's not even high pitched like that, it's just like it's like a low flat, and the young, they seem to have liked you, and you brought what is needed for the ride, so come in, and I'll explain to the council.
Okay.
And you hear her kind of gather herself up again, and all right, to talk. And she turns and walks away, and you can hear, like, as she's speaking and she's brokenly trying to communicate, it's like she picked up the language that you all know from a variety of sources, and her accent switches as she's kind of like struggling to navigate the
This
words.
is gonna be like your favorite kind of character.
Oh yeah, it's the one that I'll never use again. You better not like her, because I'm gonna have to kill her off otherwise.
Oh, she's coming with us now.
And she kind of goes off, and as she turns and goes, and she makes another noise, or as much as you can tell that it's a noise, and you just hear this much brighter, and it's like, you know that there's something lower than you're hearing, but what you hear is basically a series of either snot sounds or fart sounds, depending on what you think you're hearing. But you can see that everybody else is reacting to something much more complicated. And she turns and heads back in to the community, and two of the young possible sacrifices that did not get sacrificed approach you and kind of welcome you in, and kind of gesture you to the same area where the elder was with the children, although there's no children or elder in sight right now.
I'm gonna like just try to like wave to them to come up.
Right, three of you approach. So yeah, basically it's the four of you and the sledge, and three kittens, being offered bits and pieces of food, and then activity seems to resumed in this space, and it's up to you what you want to do. This is kind of like one of those moments in a video game where you're set free within the bounds of what the video game lets you do. It's not going to let you into any of the buildings necessarily, unless you ask and gain entrance, but you have a village to explore and talk to the NPCs.
So are there people on guard duty at like the edge of the cave? Like at the entrance?
No, there's nobody guarding the cave. The people who were watching you as you approached, while they cast glances back in towards the center of the village every now and then, they mostly keep their eyes to the outskirts of the village. So that's it. That's without rolling something for it. If you would like to gain more information, I would need you to be specific, and then possible rolls might ensue.
I'm just going to kind of meander over to one of the survivors and say, and just kind of like do a chin jut at the cave and be like,
I thought you were doing like a, how you doing?
no, doing like, what's up with the cave?
It's the release.
What does that mean?
Their face faces just bewildered as they kind of look back at you, and they look. The release, don't you know?
It's not something we do where I'm from, or I.
We don't do. It's where what we hunt, and where we the Jimin came from there and gave us all that we have, and
The what?
the Jimin, there's an older word for it, the pay caper. Yeah, the pay caper. You'll have to ask that.
It's okay.
I didn't really pay attention
Okay.
in the story circle when I was little.
That's fine. I was the same way. Just curious.
Yeah,
Who would be the best person to ask? Can you point them out?
see them kind of look around. Can you roll a persuasion check?
I would like to add one that would be happy to tell us and not think we're trying. I'm just someone who would be happy to tell the story to strangers.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. 26. I'm rolling really high.
Elder Tonk
Oh, really?
would tell. I mean, Elder Tonk talks, and so Elder Tonk,
Okay.
and they're in the hut,
Which
and it's you can tell it's a language issue. They don't have a way of, and they just point towards a building.
okay. Oh, thank you. It was good to see you again. I'm gonna walk back to our group and be like,
You kind of hear it as it goes away, just like the transition, and you can hear like a hopeful but also sad tone of voice, and then you don't know what the words are that they say, but it seems like both a thank you but also like a sorrow piece is attached to it, and they turn and they kind of go off and they go back to slicing some big yellow thing.
So I don't know if y'all noticed, but they seem to be kind of avoiding the cave.
Mm-hmm.
So I just want to understand why. I don't think we necessarily have to do anything. Obviously, it seems like, at least to them, the threat comes from outside and not the cave, but it's just kind of odd, and I may be sticking my tail where it doesn't belong, but might want to. I'm just curious. It would be helpful to be aware of their culture if we're going to, to let other people know, whether, like, if other people walk up and don't necessarily notice that, they might try to go in the cave. So, I'm gonna go over and talk to the elder that the younger one said I should. Does anybody want to come with?
I'll come.
The hut that they had pointed to, is that the same hut that the woman he was talking to went to, or a different one?
Different one.
I'm gonna go speak with who you were speaking with a little bit ago and see if there's anything I can do to help with the ceremony.
That's good.
Okay.
So
That worked
y'all,
well when you were missing and you were sleeping from poison. I went around Fisherton and I just helped people with chores and things, and it seemed to really help bolster our reputation in the town. So yeah, I think that's good to help out.
great. So y'all go do that. I'm gonna go do that, and I'll meet back up with you.
Okay.
I'm gonna stay here. Bonnie just kind of
Okay.
and you can see the three cats are she's corralled them, and she seems to be trying to coax one of the young people who you had saved into interacting with the cats.
I take my little satchel of bacon and I toss it to her. And positive reinforcement.
That's working on me.
Hey, that's limited commodity, so treats go fast. I know, just try to... I know how many are in there. That's all I'm saying.
But you don't know how many they're going to eat.
I don't. But if there's a lot less when I come back, or if they're all gone, I'm going to be very disappointed.
I won't eat any of them.
Please also don't feed them all of them. Save me like one. Just one. It's good to have in case of an
Okay.
emergency.
No worries. Roll an insight as you give her the finger eyes.
Nope.
She's totally being honest.
For our listeners, that was a nat 1.
She's totally not going to eat all of them.
There's worse things to roll that one on. So
There
All right.
are worse things to roll.
So yeah, the two of you head over to that hut. Can you just grab your poach? I'll follow up
come
with
back.
yours.
Yep.
Wait, are you coming with me?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So wait, who's going first?
Yeah.
Okay.
Y'all.
Is there a door or is like something to knock on?
Yeah, it's these are not Overton homes, but the door seems very stout. It's a material that is not natural to your knowledge. It's a strange looking material, but it is definitely a solid object.
And I'm gonna wrap my knuckles on it a couple
Yeah.
of times.
You kind of hear as you knock, it's got a strange hollowness to it, and the door opens, and you see a snout, and the snout kind of lifts up and sniffs. Oh, strangers. And the head peeks out, and you can see this elephantine look, but just a face that's been very weathered, jowls sagging. There's some sort of bone and tooth headband around their head, and that's all you can see at this moment, but you can tell because there's kind of a waft of smell that there's like this scent of green hay and leather.
Are you Elder Tonkin?
Tonk? Yes. And
So we're just passing through, and we stopped to stay for the night, but I made acquaintances with some of your younger folk, and one of them pointed us to you to give us a little bit, more information on your culture, so we can be, respectful of your traditions, and I noticed that, the cave seems to be an important part of your culture, and I wanted to find out more if you're willing to share.
looks between the two of you.
I give my most charming smile.
We're kind of the for lack of a better word, it's not an army or anything. We're the vanguard for
Advanced party.
Yes, for a group of traders that wish to establish trade routes with people along the way to Canyonville. So,
To Canyonville from where?
Overton
via Fisherton.
I heard of Overton in stories. And I love stories. Do you have approval from the council?
Which council? Your council?
Yes.
For the trade route?
No. To
For-
be here?
I think-
A woman said that we could come in, and she was going to talk to the council. So we just got here.
I love rubbing their noses and come in. and the door creaks open, and you can smell that leather and green grass smell just grows more prominent. And they invite you into their space, and nothing like breaking the rules in your old dotage. Come on in, come on in.
Thank you.
And even as they talk, roll a perception check, both of you.
Do that again by trying to bounce out of it.
Okay.
What did I change thing up?
15.
12.
15. Okay. You vaguely feel like some vibrations as every time they speak. Because you're a bard and you're sonically gifted, even though you're focused on poetry, you still pick up that resonance of something is happening in undercurrent. You even more clearly feel it, and it's almost like as they speak, they're also speaking, and two conversations are happening. But making it out for either of you is no idea. But you're invited in, and you come into their space, and it is a hovel of a home. From an Overton perspective, hay floor over what's probably packed dirt. The interior seems to be insulated very well with rushes and other naturally occurring things, but the structure seems to be one of those materials that you found in the books that seemed the most pristine. It seems to be that ancient substance that so many ancient buildings were made out of, that survived time until now, but clearly plastered over with more natural materials and such. So the door creaking open and creaking closed, everything just like has that weird feel of what is essentially plastic. But yeah, you're welcomed in, and I'll trade you stories for stories. Tell me of the mythical Overton and the secret Underton, and I'll tell you the history of my people.
Okay. So we come from Overton. We actually grew up there. Our friend outside grew up in Underton. So
I hope she visits me too.
I mean, we could go get her. She's trying to see if she can help with the ceremony because she's well, in Underton, her mother is the head cleric of the or priestess of the religion that they practice in Underton. So she's like runs the temple, and
those are the people of the, I don't know if I like them, but they're scary as all, and yet also the stories of their powers.
Yeah, there's that. So
I've often wondered if we were able to get past our taboo with regard to our own sacred space, if we would gain such. But better not to venture in places where the great beasts sleep.
I see. Well, in Underton, they have Underton's also like a cave, and they have special water down there that some people think over generations has caused people to start to have, I think, what you just referred to as abilities. And yeah, that's actually over the years has spread to Overton as well. So it's something that's becoming not common but more common. But yeah, what would you like to know in terms of stories? I'm happy to share.
Is it true that you have buildings that you built that tower over people?
What's the tallest building in Overton?
I mean, Nee's Tower is on top of a hill and is itself a towering structure of multiple stories, close to 20 stories.
Oh, wow.
And it kind of lords it over everything, whereas Underton is got pride in its depth. Nee's Tower is this skyline marker.
Okay, so I'll be like, okay, so we have two versions of that. We have we have our resident wizard Nee, who's been there for a very long time. Some people say hundreds of years. I really don't know how old he is. But he has a very huge tower that like goes up to the sky, and that was built when he moved there, whenever how long ago it was. But in Underton, they do the same thing, but they dig down. So they have very tall structures, but they work their way down instead of going up to the sky. Like they're dug in.
It's like an up and down town.
Or an over and under town, you might say.
I heard tell of a wall that encircles all.
Yeah, there's a wall around the town. There are her father actually runs one of the guard divisions that guards the wall. And
Does your father so? Then does your father tan?
My father's a soldier.
What?
professional fighter.
A defender.
Yeah.
Like
You have so many riches that people can just do the one job.
I think mostly yes. It's we have. I would say that it's more that we have enough people than riches, but
Yeah, not everybody's rich. There are very rich people in Overton, especially in Underton. Like I wasn't rich. I worked in a tavern. I grew up in a tavern.
I think I've heard that word before. What is a tavern?
It is a building where people come for entertainment, to imbibe alcoholic beverages, and socialize.
and to eat.
And to eat.
And sometimes there's an inn attached where people can rent rooms to stay.
And what's the purpose of that when you have your own hovels?
For travelers or people in trouble with their mates.
Oh. Huh.
Or people who haven't
Or people
who don't
who
have a home yet.
drank too much and can't make it home.
Both of you roll an insight check really quickly.
$19?
13.
19.
I'm not hiding it at all. Well, with the 13, that's the 19's even super high. I don't even have anything for that high of a skill with this. What you speak of as you watch their expression seem like wonders to them. You've mentioned 3 things that has blown their mind. And you can see that they definitely have that sense of owing, that they've gained stories and now it's their turn in. Well, you asked about our descending. And not in my lifetime so far, but during my mother's lifetime, there's been the releases, and creatures have emerged from our sacred grounds, and they come out young, but they grow to quite the size, and they, the Yemen and the peacekeepers worked together long ago and saved us and the creatures of the world below, and their grand works continue to produce. Well, they did continue to produce. It's been decades since the last release.
What's a Yemen?
There are progenitors. You can see that are racking their brain for words that they haven't had to use in this language, and they're trying to do match up, and you can see that they're like really struggling for a second. They genomed us, and that's the genoming occurred, and we were the survivals. And my people that look like me are Specimen G. And we've chosen to let go of that name. It's not the brightest of names. Those before us didn't survive, and it seems that letting go of those ancient names helps. We used to know others, but what remains is, well, we call ourselves now the Lux. And there's also the Crux, which are the hairier versions of ourselves. And together we're the Luxodons. And then there are, I don't remember their ancient name, but there are the other people that are here who you may notice that they have whiskers, and they were part of the genoming. Mm-hmm. And the peacekeepers, what I think kids call them, pikers? I don't remember. I'm not honestly sure if Jimin and peacekeepers are the correct words, but those ancient gods gave birth to us and protected us and continue to release us.
So, are people born around here, or did they come out of the cave?
Oh, we came out long ago. And after us came several others, although they've disappeared. A few couldn't stand the cold of winter here and moved down lower. Some headed to Canyonville, which is a bustling space. They found some extraordinary things, although they don't understand what they found, I don't think. And others have, we don't have record, but as the Gemin would say, they're probably failed.
I assume that it's forbidden to go into the cave.
There's a word for it. Those who go don't come back.
Okay. So it's dangerous? Or?
We don't know what happens. No one's come back, so it might be fine. It could be that the great Yemen take you up in their embrace and have you join with them, which is why some of our young folks will venture down.
We've seen a place like this once before. It wasn't as successful, I think, as your cave here was. There's a place near Fisherton where they were genoming people, but it didn't work out.
Oh.
I guess they failed, as you say.
Well, I've also heard it. It's an old story, but there was a Yemen who was, this is probably myth, but there was a Yemen who lived among us for a time and was angry at the other Yemen and killed them. And then absconded with something of great importance to the Yemen. And the peacekeepers forbid their return, and maybe that's what was it What were they?
I don't want to say it out loud in front of you. Asher's thinking of what's in your bag, though. That we took from the mad scientist. I'm just gonna look at you and look at your bag. And then
Well, it there's some sort of substance that seems to be in container that seems to be contained in past ancient chests, kind of just spread out in random places.
we've seen it underneath Underton, and in that, I guess we would call it a laboratory.
I don't know.
By Fisherton.
It was a cave, and it was poisoning the water, but it wasn't killing people. It was changing
Was it the
people.
holy symbol of doom?
Can you draw it for me?
No, I can do better. And she reaches over and pulls out what looks like an engraving. Gonna have a hard time doing this with a straight face. It's a circle with two Y-shaped areas where eyes might be in a face and a tongue sticking out.
It's an emoji.
Mr. Yuckface.
It was called the Holy Symbol of Doom?
Yes, we're here.
Jessica's asking
Yes,
this.
yes.
Okay.
She said holy symbol of doom.
And
That's
that's
'cause our
And
note
Larissa's asking, it's the radioactive symbol. Yes?
No.
No?
It's the yuck face emoji.
Like when you were a little kid, they would put that
Oh.
sticker on things to say that they're poisonous. Don't taste this.
Oh,
That one I've not seen that.
no, I'm not familiar
Is
with
the
that.
floor made of? Is the floor dirt or is it?
It's dirt with above the dirt some hay, like packed earth with basically rushes. It's easy to move it around if you need to.
I'm gonna just move some
What about you?
hay aside and just draw the radioactive symbol in the dirt and be like, this is the symbol that was there.
Oh, we've seen that as well. And she turns again and she pulls out. This is the symbol of unending immortality, which is confusing to say in your language. It makes much more sense in ours. And she just holds this tiny little placard. It looks like it was like to us modern day humans in our player mode, not in our. It looks like a placard that you might unscrew from a wall. And it's the same Triskelion pattern.
Where did that come from?
Oh, when the last release occurred, some of the animals they came out quickly and they left a lot of detritus behind as they came out. Yeah. It's quite a token. 10 of our youths went down that season to find more and never returned.
How long ago?
Before I was born. We keep records, though, if you want to look through our records. We try to document as we were told every release.
Okay.
Is this a good thing for you when releases happen?
Oh, it brings more beings into our hunts and allows us greater riches, and
Okay.
we have a sacred duty to protect and help propagate.
So they create or they genome them in the cave, and then they come out, and then they breed and repopulate up here, and then you hunt them. Do I have that right?
Yes, but that is part of the protection too. I think it was called ecology in your language. We call it, and you just hear a big rumble.
All right. What's the ceremony they're planning for?
When you can't recover, you have to move on, and so we bless them to the Great Yemen and to the peacekeepers.
So if you're like old and frail or sick, you go into the cave? Is that
That would not make sense. The young can do that, but the old would never be accepted by the Yemen. And when I go, I will lay out on the edge. And she gestures, and you can tell that she's indicating where that cliff face is. And I will let the Yemen take me.
huh?
Oh, okay. Well, I've taken enough of your time. I'll let you relax. Thank you for sharing your stories.
Likewise.
And I love this idea of you called it a tavern? Tavern.
Tavern.
Tavern. I might want to do one of those someday. And you see them kind of just puttering. And I think overall you get the impression that this person means well, does well, probably takes care of their people well, and is also a great putterer.
Yeah.
You went to the space that was
Before that, I would have wanted to grab, which I haven't really used yet, my quarterstaff and changed my headpieces
okay.
to just like a like I kind of feel like she was wearing like a bright shiny gold, maybe like a white topaz or something. And I want to have her put on more of a sleek dark one with like maybe like a dark emerald or something.
Okay. So costume change
Costume change.
completed. Walking up to this other hut, you, as you're approaching it, are you being stealthy in this approach, or just walking up, or
Walking up, and then when I get to whatever the entrance might be,
yeah, it's another door.
then I would knock and just say, "Hello."
At your knock, you can feel like up until then you felt those deep rumblings. Out here, it's hard to tell where one's coming from, but you're getting the sense that this is some sort of communication that's constantly happening. There's conversations happening. They're happening at a level, a decibel below your hearing. And what you get is mostly these vibrations, but you can tell that there's ongoing conversation, and you can feel them stop. And you wait for a little bit, and then the door opens, and it's the same woman from before. And she, hello.
I do not mean to interrupt. I merely wanted to express that I would be happy to provide extra hands or services for your ritual coming up.
Do you know what is the nature of your... And she kind of keeps staring at this emerald on your forehead.
I follow the ways of this deity who I'm still learning about, but I deal with death a lot.
You kill things a lot?
No, actually, I don't think I've actually killed yet. But, I am unafraid of death or dying, and some may call me the bringer of death? But I don't... Yeah. I'm still new at this, but just simply wanted to extend help in any way that I could. As I was also there with the young people who almost were sacrificed. I was also there.
Were you there when the ones were sacrificed?
I was. I did not see it as I was captured in a box that limited me and my abilities, and obviously my sight, but...
Your abilities?
Yeah, and because I can do this now, my hair goes like up in a wave and then comes back down. Because I have animated hair now.
Like that spell goes into you.
As your hair does that, and they kind of lean back really far, their whole body just steps away, and you can get a peek inside, and you can see that there's 3 other individuals, and they seem to represent the beings of this town. The more elephantine look, the more cat-like look, and the more of your nature, and then one that looks much more like Asher. And they're all kind of looking over with interest, and when your hair goes up, they all lean back, and the one that looks like you comes forward. My people have stories of a people that we left. And we look, and she holds up her arm, and she kind of places it as close to you as you'll let her. And are we the same?
We certainly look the same.
I'm more brown than you, but there's a lot, and she kind of looks into your eyes. A lot of things that are similar.
I also spent a lot of time not in the sun, so that could affect my skin.
What do you do with your aged?
Well, we live very long, so there aren't too many. It takes a while, but when they hit an age that they can no longer survive, we have a ritual where we send them off into the water.
And do you agree with this practice?
Well, up until recently, wholeheartedly. My plan was to attempt to take over, to be the priestess of that ritual.
Do you think it is good to end those who have more to give?
More to give? I guess it would depend on what exactly more to give means.
I would have been one you would send on. And in the last 50 years, I have protected this place as best I could. And I've been around for long. We left when I was a child 200 years ago. My people were of your people. And the reasons we left make me wary of you.
That is certainly understandable.
Would you say that I am of low value?
No.
Would you end me because of tradition?
No, I only want to aid in the process of death. I don't want to, at least I don't think I want to be the one that causes death. I'm still learning a lot.
So you have doubts. Are there deaths that are good and are there deaths that are bad?
Yes.
Are there lives that are good and lives that are bad?
Yeah. Yes.
And what about those who should be dead but are alive?
Well, I certainly don't think we should fear death, so if there are those that are bad that deserve death, then it should end.
And would you leave someone not of themselves to keep them alive? Where do you draw the line?
I don't know. I guess I need more experience to be able to answer that.
Roll a wisdom saving throw.
Ruh-roh, Reggie.
This is expiring. Don't last for 10 minutes.
No! A wisdom saving throw. Okay. Oh, God. 10.
Oh, so you do not pass, and you
Great.
are in a zone of truth.
Wonderful.
And they begin to quickly grill you with a series of questions.
Oh, God, okay.
So be ready. Are you ready? 'Cause
No.
I'm going to ask you them with my voice just quickly. Okay, ready? In character, do you consider yourself to be an ethical person?
Yes.
Would you mind jumping into a deep river to save a drowning animal?
Possibly? Is it a cute animal?
Would you risk your life to save another?
Oh, I don't know. It would depend on the person.
Is stealing always wrong?
No.
When is it right to steal?
When it's something that doesn't belong to you or them.
What makes a person act ethically or unethically?
I guess their life, their experiences.
Should people be punished for stealing if they are stealing to feed their family?
Ooh, no?
If you saw a pickpocket stealing someone's wallet, what would you do?
Nothing?
Do you consider yourself to be an ethical person?
I guess not. No?
What is an ethical dilemma that you have faced? You can see that she slows down now. The spell is still up. And you've been compelled this entire time to answer as honestly as possible, even as your answers change because of the questions changing your own brain.
Okay, so Jessica, so what was something
What are some ethical dilemmas that you have faced?
that I have faced? Dilemmas that she's faced.
The wall.
Bring your phone back.
Such good ones. Okay. It's like Jessica's like, what the fuck has she done? Two come to mind. Having to decide the fate of my whole town and whether to not to continue how life has always been or not. And then a friend died and debating whether or not to save her.
The friend who died, was her death natural?
I would say no.
And by bringing her back, were you righting a wrong?
I think so.
Do Do you worry that you may have created a greater wrong?
Sometimes.
They have my approval. And the grilling finishes, and the other 3 members of their group, you feel this effect that's been forcing you to be honest just dissipate. And as that all dissipates, and the tension just seems to immediately leave the air. Do you have any questions for me?
These people are all about the question trading, aren't they?
Did you need my help with anything?
I will train her. And she grabs her stuff, and you have my decision. And she just grabs you by the cloak or whatever, and just starts walking you fast march. All right. We're going to go ahead and take a break with that, and we will be back right away because we're not actually having an intermission this time.
Ooh.
And so we will see you very, very soon. I have to do the audio mixing, which is harder to do because, that's fun. Welcome back from our few seconds fake intermission. We don't have to do an intermission this time because we had a pre-record today. And in talking about pre-recording, I wanted to bring up a couple of things before we get to our commercial. The first thing I want to get to is we are changing to a summer schedule. And for us, that means that we are going to switch to Saturdays every other week, starting on the 18th. So don't expect to hear from us this upcoming Saturday, but rather the Saturday afterwards. And then you can always check out our YouTubes for information. And also, if Saturdays don't work for you, because you're our Andy fan and that's just not interested in those Saturdays, then you can also check in with our actual audio-only podcast at demisecast.com. And hear our probability of demise right there. In addition, if you're here listening to us, I'm probably in chat being a spammy chatter. Please like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so that you can get notified when we do go live. That will make life easy for you and for us.
You better not be in the chat. You're supposed to be in the theater with me.
I don't remember things. I don't remember things.
Why are we re-recording this, Rorik?
Did you forget you're going to a show with us?
I don't remember these things. I'm forgetful. I'm a terrible, terrible human being.
You've got lots of life stuff going on.
Yeah. It is a juggle. A jiggle.
Busy trying to get a life. We get it.
Yeah, I don't know what I'm doing. It revolts. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and get us back on track with our story. You've been traveling around the village figuring out what you can from various individuals. You have been
Kidnapped
Tanzanite. You've been somewhat kidnapped. You've been pulled aside. And what I'll say unfolds is basically her orienting you to the series of ceremonies they perform as rites for their dead. And she tries to kind of teach you these rites. And
what gives you the right? Oh, I forgot my lamp commercial.
Not yet.
Okay.
Oh, I messed up. I wasn't going to go back. So I rewind the stuff that I just said because we were going to go to our commercial. And now a commercial break.
Hang on, I'm doing.
And second chance. Now our commercial break.
Do your stupid kids get to turn off the lights and run up your power bill? Are you worried you're slowly killing the planet by your irresponsible electricity usage? If this sounds like you, Boy, have we got a solution. Check out our latest development in innovative lighting, skylights. With Skylight, you can use the power of the sun and moon to light your home and save on your electric bill. When society collapses, you'll still have light in your home where your lame neighbor sits sadly in the dark. Brought to you by the makers of Grass, a natural sustainable rug, and Rocks, the home defense weapon everyone can afford.
What? The home defense weapon everyone can afford.
A huge thank you to our sponsor.
Thanks to Skylight, our sponsor.
All right. So now I'm going to be pull us back to what I unrolled and whatnot. But here we are.
I thought that was a good first attempt.
That was awesome. That's a lot to live up to in the future if you say that's your first attempt.
I wasn't planning on the accent that was last minute.
That was the best part.
Yeah, you held it.
It killed me because I was like, oh god, that's going to be in my head for the rest of the session.
Everyone can afford.
Forget that everyone can afford it. Brought to you by the makers of Grass.
The natural sustainable rug.
All I could think of was, how big was my head before?
Was a little Gilbert, wasn't it?
No, not Gilbert.
Oh no, it's
John Burnett.
Yeah.
How big was my head before?
Okay, so going back to what I was trying to say, you have had a brief tutorial in a different form of honoring the dead. And this is the first time you've really seen a new approach to last rites. And they conduct it without a body. And over the course of this, you learn that in general, there's not a body for these people. People who feel that they're on the verge of death or are on the verge of death seek the assistance of their relatives when they're ready and try to fling themselves from the cliff face and leave their body exposed for nature to take. Otherwise, people die of natural causes in accidents and other things like that, and those bodies are also left to the natural elements. In terms of the unnatural, people who are abducted in this case, there is a series of remembrances and sharings of that person's life that you're kind of taken through so you're prepared at the time that's appropriate to help assist in that in the various ways that you might choose to assist in that. And you just kind of have a general idea of this ceremony. It's a different space. What you also learn is, and maybe it only comes together when you compare notes, but folks who go into the cavern are always assumed to be alive, and there's a list of the living who've gone below.
Is it ever addressed that after a certain amount of time that a ritual is given for those, or are they always assumed?
It's a roll a religion check.
Okay. I think I have a new number for this. Have to relearn it. Okay. 15, 16, 18.
Okay. With an 18, you get the sense that there's two parts to this belief system. Religions, like your own, are about becoming at one with the universe at some level. It's about either being at one with your God or with the universe, or just having a sense of self and place. Going down to the caverns is considered to be a holy quest to be at one. It's a quest that can only be partaken by the young and the brave. But by going down there, there is a little bit of a sense that, yes, they are no longer with the folk, but yet they are also with their spiritual space. And then the second part to it that you pick up is by going down there, those who go down, if they are successful in the trials, if they make whatever is required of them, there is a kind of reincarnation that is expected to have happened, and that they are somehow giving to the wheel of life. And that is the belief of those who are in this village on the surface, in their isolation. And it's just very much, it's clear that nobody really knows what happens.
I think I finally officially have my first dice for specific things.
Hey.
Oh.
My skull dice will be my religion dice.
Skull dice is the rage dice. Oh, wait.
Oh no, I forgot to get barbarian. Next
Darn it. What do you do for a living? I'm a barbarian death cleric. My name is Tanzanite.
I am the bringer of death. Ah!
I would like to rage and death in your face. Wait, I have that backwards. No, wait.
All right. So what are you up to?
I would have left Tonk to their puttering.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to think if I have anything on me that would just like blow Tom's mind to like leave them as a gift. I'm trying to think of like just Overton stuff that would be in my pocket.
Let's see. That's a cool idea.
How about just like a little, like a 1 gold piece gem? I'm gonna be like, hey Tom, before we go, thanks for your help. I wanted to give you this. This is like what we mine in Overton. It's the little gems.
She takes it from you and a treasure of Overton. This looks a lot like the treasures that the young folk brought back.
Yes, the people that kidnapped them were paid in that kind of money.
I figured it would be better to go with you.
We told them to take what they could carry and bring it back for the village to use because that seemed fair.
She cups it.
But not everybody that uses that currency is bad. It's just probably the people that were paid that money were looking to buy something in Overton. That's probably all that means.
Better to keep this from them. And whatever they might have taken from you. And she pockets the little gem, and you've filled her with a lot of thoughts, and you can see that she's considering a lot of different things, but I think it's just that there's so much for her to process that her processing is in too many directions for cohesive emotional expression. So she's more deeply thoughtful. All right. So you leave, you've left. I'm going to fast forward us into...
Actually, before we fast forward, I would like to take out the stone and be like, we've reached the village. Send someone ahead before you try to bring the whole caravan in. These people are shy.
They're shy.
There's a moment. And you hear... 2 weeks out. if things start going well.
Start going well.
Poor Grant. He's been trying to get moving for.
I keep rolling for him before each day for the sessions that I had them all marked, and there was like
We
a
haven't.
solid 6 days where he couldn't even leave Fisherton.
We haven't rolled for in a while.
The dude. God, by this time he'd be there, right?
Yeah,
This
he's
like
Unless they got lost.
no, he's looking for knee, and he's gonna
No,
The mayor.
the mayor. What is he supposed to do with the mayor?
I think
Chew 'em out.
he was gonna like tell off the mayor for putting them in such bad conditions or something. I think that was the. You missed this. I charmed a guard in Fisherton, like one of the bad guards, and convinced him to go to Overton and like tell off the mayor.
That's amazing.
And we decided that even though the spell only lasts like an hour or something, we were just going to roll with it and see if he could. But
Like if he continued to fail the
He's
spell.
literally failed the wisdom save for like 8 weeks now.
I mean, I have actually lowered the DC over time, but every time I lower it, the dice rolls get worse. This is terrible. He's full on toast.
Sorry, selfish question real fast. With this new, like, this new deity that isn't the one that I originally thought. Mm-hmm. Just to make sure that I'm right. My decanter of, like, water is still, like, it's that same... God.
Roll a religion check. Because you've been using this, you could roll it with advantage, I guess.
Okay. Submit 5. Yeah. So, oh god.
You can do it.
Oh god. Maybe you won't be my religion die. 12.
It's
Try the crit fail dice.
hard to tell.
God damn it. Okay.
I mean, prior to this adventure, your witnessing of the use of the waters was without a voice in your head. Mm-hmm. And the voice started as you started these adventures. That was your first time actually feeling like all the things you've been put through actually had an echo. And at first you did think it was the same as everybody else's divine person. And I think it's hard to know from what you witnessed the uses of the water versus what you're able to do with water. You're able to do amazing things with the water. You've done amazing things with the water. Is it more or less powerful? Is it connected or disconnected?
Is it wildly radioactive? One never knows.
All right. That means okay. You both come out and you're just kind of gathering again in that central space, and it's not long before again the woman from the beginning comes forth and she's, you've been approved. Please stay the night. Stay for 7 nights, if you so choose. And she kind of looks over towards the space where you were in training, Tanzanite, and we're getting kind of the brief rundown. We've been unanimous in our decision to grant you presence here for however so long as you need. Yes.
I just want to let you know that about 2 weeks behind us is a trade caravan on its way to Canyonville, so they will probably stop here, just so you're not surprised when they come through. If you wanted to do trading with them, I'm sure they would be into that, but you don't have to.
We handle our own, and you hear a ton of deep rumbling. Everybody roll a perception check to see if you're able to pick up more.
15.
Oh, shit. 9.
17. Yeah, 17.
Okay. The two of you, 15 and 17, the rumbling is coming from everywhere except for the council house. A lot of it seems to be emanating from Tonk's space. There was kind of a wave of rumbles, but then now there's a lot coming out of Tonk's hovel. And all you're aware of, Tanzanite, is just the amount of rumbling that is happening. It's intensive, and it's hard to believe that this wouldn't be transparent to anything around here. It's carrying, and it's going and going and going, and yeah, you are very aware that there's a lot of something going on.
Whole lot of something going on.
All right, that's as much as I can share without going above 20. So,
Is everything okay? We can't. It's hard for us to understand your language. It's very low for my hearing.
yes, yours is very high for most of ours. So, I would say
Sorry, I could talk lower.
that actually helps quite a bit.
Okay.
So we've apparently not everything that we could wish for in the world, and there's some interest in some things that folks have seen from you all. So apparently you had a conversation with our... And she says something, but it doesn't make sense, but you gain the sense that your interpretation might be that she's saying Tonk. But it's definitely not what Tonk introduced herself as. And, we need to do the ceremony. Excuse me. We're going, if you would like to observe, apparently your friend has been added in. We'll be getting in a few hours, but to whatever you wish to do.
I'm gonna lean over to Trixie and be like, "Do we need all this stuff? Like on the treasure that we picked up?
What? Do what?
The stuff on the sled, on the sledge.
What's your question?
Do we need it? Should we give it to them so they could trade it with Bran? With Gran?
It's less for us to carry.
Yeah, it will slow us down. Okay. So because the people who sacrificed your friends and family members did wrong by you, we wanted to give you this sledge full of their wealth that we took from them after we defeated them, so that you could use it to trade with the caravan when they come through.
Okay, so is this sledge... are you also including the coinage amount that we had talked about before, or are you just talking about the materials, the leather,
Like minus whatever she took. So it was,
the bag of topaz?
yeah.
Okay. So yeah, I think that at first this isn't my area. And you hear another rumble, and then one of the other people who were in the council kind of steps forward out of who knows where, because they were just tucked around a corner somewhere, because NPCs out of the pocket. No use for the bubbles. From what the stories have been told, that would be us in competition. But leathers... starts pulling stuff out and leaving behind the ingots of gold and silver and the heavier chunk of something, leaving behind all of those miscellaneous items, pulling inside your bag and heavy.
I mean, I wouldn't have given him my bag.
Well, I'm assuming
Yeah.
it was on the sledge when you were
Oh,
to simplify your life, but maybe it wasn't. But he leaves all the baubles, the gems, those things. This, well, not as fine as our work, but this is decent of you. And as he says decent of you, his nose twitches a little bit, and it's kind of like a bunny rabbit's nose twitch.
We don't need it, and it seems like it could help you, or at least give you some leverage with the traders when they pass by. So,
Oh,
and
are you?
you obviously experienced a loss to your village, so this is some small recompense for what those people did to you.
Would you be willing to offer your Overton opinions on something? Okay. Well, we've been doing this with Canyonville when they come through, but the mythical Overton has potential. And this way. He turns and starts jogging off towards another structure, another one of the small structures.
Off we go.
You follow him over, popping in. Just roll a quick perception check to see what you catch when you walk in.
8. I got to see shit today.
24.
a lot better than I thought it was.
Oh, are you back? You're back with us now?
Are
Yeah,
they?
you're all together.
Yeah, at this point, we're all together.
I only saw the one at first.
What did you get?
That is a 21.
Okay. You guys 28?
4.
24?
24.
Okay, 24.
8.
I think, like, you come up and this is the first time there wasn't a plastic door in place. There was just, like, a big, huge, heavy bit of leather. And that just takes your attention because it's a fine piece of leather. A tone and color that's not anything you've seen before. And you just have this moment of just, like, looking at the one thing that you first see, kind of like what happened as you came into the village. The first thing that caught your attention is just like, oh, that's really nice. You two go in and you immediately see stout timbered items, some of which are of a silver wood that matches what Tanzanite was in. Various implements of hunting, bows, spears made of that material. You catch this as well, but what's really draws your eye is that they have stretched leathers with the fur still attached, and it is a palace of color. Tones and shades and sizes that you've never seen before. At a glance, some of it looks so luxurious that it would be considered amongst the highest priced items in Underton. In fact, there are no furs of this quality in Underton. They may not have much, but they have wood and they have furs. And that is what you see in this space. So, would this be interest to your people?
Yeah, I think so. At least to the weapons would certainly help the guards to defend.
Well, if you would like, I can demonstrate some of this. And
I mean, we aren't in a position to. I mean, we could certainly evaluate, but we aren't in a position to purchase or trade.
here, here, this bow.
Oh, okay.
He hands you a bow. It's
Is it a short bow or a long bow?
it's very much a short bow.
For you, it's a longbow.
It's appropriate for forest hunting.
Okay.
It's not something that would be easily, like, a longbow honestly would not be easily wielded in a forest.
Right.
I know that we have myths and stories of longbows in forests, but if you've ever tried to string a longbow in the woods, It's not. It's not a good.
Robin Hood did it.
Yeah, Robin Hood. Happy fictional stories. But this short bow is extremely strong and powerful. It's got a heavy pull strength to it. And you can see like right behind him is a quiver of arrows, and they all seem to be made out of that same wood, that silvery wood.
I'll try. It's not really my area of expertise, but
Well, I'm
gonna reach out and just like touch the bow because I want to see if the wood does to me what the box did to me.
You start to feel the pull almost immediately.
Pull my finger back right away.
You're not currently feeling it.
I can't touch that.
Why?
It's like the box.
Well, we started using this because it seems to bypass and penetrate some of the creatures of our woods in ways nothing else can.
That makes
well, it also affects
sense to me, actually. Okay.
It affects us too. Does it not affect you?
No. I mean, he pulls up a bunch of stuff and. Well, may I have the bow back?
Mm-hmm.
Would you take this for me?
I would rather not.
As an experiment. This is yours. And as he hands it to you, this time you don't feel the pull.
Weird.
Does it have to be gifted?
I made this one myself. Interesting to think about.
But what did you touch? What did you touch?
He touched the bow in your hand. When he had handed the bow to you, he had touched it.
I didn't do anything that time. I don't know.
Can I? Well, why don't?
I mean, I don't need a bow anyway, so it's fine.
No, I know. I mean, if there's other people in Overton that have any kind of
Oomph.
inclination or abilities, it would be good for them to know about this before they, Although, maybe if they have nefarious plans, maybe don't tell them.
Or if the guard needs to stop someone with nefarious plans, the arrows could help.
I have the sense that this is more valuable than I expected. I appreciate your evaluation.
You're welcome. You should discuss this with Grand, who is the leader of the trade caravan that's coming.
I look forward to it.
And don't let him talk you down too far, because he'll see the value and try to get the best price.
He'll try to convince you it's not as.
He's a good man, but he's also a trader by profession, so he's going to try to get the best deal. Let's put it that way. Don't tell him I told you that.
There's roll an insight check.
Let's try it.
He has a smile, and that's all you really catch is the grin. This seems to bring him happiness. All right, so
I'm going to touch one of the furs too, just for experimental sake.
is there a particular fur you're drawn to? Shape, color?
One of the really colorful ones.
Okay, go up and touch it.
Touching.
I'm gonna roll a dice to figure out which one you're touching, because that's more fun. Where is my D8? There it is. Oh, cool. Yeah, you go up and touch the fur, and it is so soft and luxurious and absolutely lovely. Roll a charisma saving throw.
Hold my stuff close over me. 23.
You resist this overwhelming urge to snuggle into it and go to sleep. as you shrug off the effects of a sleep spell.
I'm gonna tell her, don't touch that either. I'm just gonna walk out.
Why not?
Would you like to touch? It is the best way to put an infant to sleep, and it is glorious. I have one on my bed.
Shit.
Hello, when you roll for your own decision making, and then you're like, "Uh-oh."
But it's barely, so it's like a fight. I mean, it does look soft.
Oh, and it's lovely. It's absolutely lovely.
I'm just gonna do like a quick with my finger.
Okay, roll a charisma saving throw.
Whoop. Mm. 15.
You also feel this, and for you, it's super strong. Like you yawn, you shake free of it, and you realize, oh yeah, that would knock you out. Sleepless night, no more.
You should tell Grand that is a cure for insomnia. You could sell it that way for sure.
Oh. Thanks for the bargaining advantage.
Poor Grand, we're just like screwing him as we walk around.
I mean, he called you in there on purpose to do this. He's possibly just as bad as Grand. Are you leaving, following him, or are you?
Yeah.
So you're the last one left in the room. Would you like to touch the pelt of the iron yak?
It is truly gorgeous, and I can say without a doubt that people where I am from would love any of the furs that you have in here. But I don't need to touch it. Thank you.
Well, maybe one of the others.
Sure.
Here's a special one. The feathered mammoth.
What's it look like?
You haven't seen a peacock in your life. But if you had, this is what a peacock's coat would look like if it was covering a very, very large four-legged animal.
Does it have the the little the symbol that the feather, like a peacock's feather makes?
Like tinier, but just thousands of them.
I want to go and put my hand on right in the center of one of those.
You go put your hand on the center of one of those. Go ahead and roll a wisdom saving throw.
You become a peacock. Wait, no.
Okay. 22.
Yeah. Okay.
Rick's like, God dang it.
I mean, 3.
With the 23, when you put your hand on it, you immediately realize that someone wearing this would have advantage on any charisma, style, persuasion, intimidation, negotiating opportunities. This coat turned into a coat. This fur turned into a coat or a headpiece or something is beyond description. But how to make something that was effective without destroying the pattern and look, because what you also realize is the pattern and look is what it needs.
It's part
and
of that.
if you hadn't been as wise as you are and as connected to the world and able to kind of pass through and understand things, you realize that you would be under the influence of this pelt.
Mm-hmm.
And you kind of wonder how a hunter would ever be able to successfully hunt a beast like this.
Mm-hmm.
Because you would potentially be under the spell of this beast should you try to even look at it in life. But here, as a pelt on the wall, it's just merely pulling your admiration and interest.
This is truly an amazing fur. Would it be possible to see just one more, maybe?
Oh, yes. I'm so excited. What would you like? Any gestures? Do you want me to roll random for you, or do you want to...
Can you tell me, like, 3 of the looks? Like this one's brown, this one's blue, this one's orange.
There's one that is a
violet sky.
luxurious white.
Luxurious white.
Just really long fur strands. There's another one that has very little fur to it whatsoever, but almost appears to be like a starry sky, just dappled with bits of white light that almost looks like light. Like it's almost bioluminescent, but then the rest of the fur is a deep dark blue. And then there's another one that is just plain Jane brown, but there's something about it when you look at it that just seems like it's changing, but you can't quite tell.
Oh. How do I pick between 3?
You need a D3 dice in D&D, or just like in real life, I need a 3-headed dice.
Yeah.
I mean, you could roll a d6 and do evens and odds.
I just want it to be, Well, that's just 2 choices, even as odds.
1, 2, 3,
Or
4, 5, 6.
do above, like 4 and above, or 3 and below.
Just assign 1 to each of those.
No.
There's 3
1,
choices.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Yeah. You just have to remember which one you've assigned which number before you roll.
That's what I was thinking. Sorry.
Okay.
That's the hard thing for me, is I can't ever keep track of.
Where's my D6s?
Look
There,
for the
okay.
cube.
Okay. 1 and 2 will be the first one.
Mhm.
3 and 4 will be the Starry Night.
Mhm.
5 and 6 will be the Plane.
Go, Van, go.
Plane. No, like, Jessica wants the Starry one. Starry one.
Yeah, you reach up and touch this one. I need you to roll a religion check.
And then you cut off your ear.
See, I always. Oh, see, I was wrong. This is why I always double check. Okay, come on. Ah. 22.
Your religion dice did you better this time.
Did.
Okay, with a 22, I need you to roll a Constitution saving throw. Constitution saving throw.
Oh, shit.
Hey, Res, since who's up?
11.
It's a blow to your diaphragm. You lose your air. And then all you see is her. This is my beast. This is mine. Find the living. Find her. And know that you are mine, as she is mine. And your goddess gives you a blessing for the day,
Whew.
where you have advantage on wisdom saving throws for 24 hours. However, you now have a compulsion. One could call it a curse, that you have to find the beast that wore this type of fur. It's going to be an insatiable urge, and even just rumors are something you're going to chase the rest of your life until you find it.
Okay.
Oh, well, was that, of interest? It's been a strange one. Everyone reacted differently.
This one's truly amazing.
Yes.
Who got this fur?
Well, sadly, they did not survive the recent troubles.
Oh, I am truly sorry to hear that.
The sister would
Sister.
maybe know more if you are interested. It's a strange... It's not from our releases. It's not documented in our library. And you see gestures over to a thing that nobody noticed, because now you rolled high enough. There's
The 24, didn't I?
Yep.
Jesus.
And you see that there's what looks like a Chinese medicine cabinet, just tons of little drawers. You just gestures. We've documented everything that's come out, but that did not come out.
That is incredible. That you are able to keep that type of record. The sister. What is her name? Is she here?
Yes, I believe her name is Tamaras. She's still in the children's circle, so Elder Tonk might know exactly where she is.
Thank you so much. Again, these furs are truly incredible.
Yes, they are. And he reaches up and he just strokes the Starry Night one, and you see his eyes change. And it looks like a field of stars are in his eyes. And you wonder for a moment if that's what you looked like when you had touched it.
Thank you for showing me these.
I learned more than I could ever hope for. And I appreciate you as well.
Yes, thank you.
On your way, lovely. All right, so what you all up to? Oh, by the way, you did fail a Constitution saving throw, which is why you have this curse.
It's fine.
Okay.
Yay, curses.
Yay, compulsion.
Hey, Trixie. Hey, the person you talked to earlier. What was their name?
The one with the stories?
Yeah.
Tonk?
Tonk. They're the ones who... Would they know where all the kids are?
I think they're like the keeper of their history, so the kids learn from them.
Cool. Could you introduce me?
Yeah, sure. Right now?
I mean, are we
or-
doing anything right now?
No.
I mean, are you going to help with the ceremony? Or
I am, yes. Is that time? Is it time to do the ceremony?
I don't know. I
Nobody
assumed
really-
you would know.
You okay?
I just... One of those furs in there.
Oh no! Did you fall asleep?
No. Did one of you fall asleep?
Well, there was one that made me really sleepy.
Same.
Oh, well, no, I did not fall asleep. I heard from her when I touched one of the furs.
Oh, from
Yeah. And the one with the, did you see the one with the starry pattern by any chance? If not, it was like a really dark blue and it almost looked like a starry night.
Maybe it was too high for me to see.
That's very possible. There's a living one of those, and I have to find it. But the person who got those furs, I think was one of the sacrifices, possibly. But their sister's still alive, so maybe the sister may know where the living one might live or be near. So I just want to know where it may be.
So you want us to go into the woods and track down this creature?
I mean, along the road as we go about continuing our travels, we can keep an eye out.
Do you want me to turn into a bird again and fly up and look for it?
Maybe I should talk to the sister first to get an idea, to see if she even has an idea of where this creature was found. And then, yes.
Okay.
Also, there was a fur in there that you may like, if we ever find a really good seamstress. But I don't know of any good seamstresses, so I didn't get it. Just so you know.
Okay.
I think it would flatter you.
I'm like blushing a little bit, but trying not to be blushing a little bit. Like, oh, I see. Yeah, that's cool. Thanks for thinking of me. That's nice.
I just awkwardly look back and forth between both of you, trying to figure out what the hell is going on with either of you.
So, you want to introduce me?
Okay, yeah, I mean, yeah, if we're not doing the ritual, then yeah.
Well, I know when the ritual is happening,
You know that it starts at sunset.
and it's not sunset.
Not
quite
yet. It's getting there, but it's not yet.
We have some time. It's at sunset.
Okay. Then,
Do you want to come with us?
Sure.
Scavenger hunt to find a child. How fun.
3 strange adventurers go hunting for a child.
do you know, well, I'm sure we can ask Tonk. Okay, she lives over here. And I lead her towards Tonk's hut.
Yeah. So I just want to do, rather than role play all of this out, I want to do a series of just checks, okay?
Mm-hmm.
First, let's do a persuasion check, and anybody who thinks that they would have helped her make her case, please let me know now. You would have tried to?
I would have looked over and been like,
So you can either roll
Help
separately
me.
or you can give her advantage. It's up to you.
Want to roll separately, or do you want advantage, or you want to roll separately?
Well, the thing is would if you roll separately, would you use your modifier or her modifier?
If you're rolling separately, you're using your own modifiers. But
I
rolling with
say
advantage-
separately.
Good call.
I mean,
Pick one.
No. It's too much pressure.
is it the crit fill? Oh, no, it's not. I was curious if you were going to choose the crit fill dice.
And you have lucky if you need it. And a guidance. I don't know if that's still happening.
24.
Okay.
Okay. What'd
I
you?
had a 12.
Okay.
So did I, but I have a plus 12 modifier.
I had nothing.
So Tonk is happy to share, and then I'm sure that there's a poem or something you share in the process that seems to satisfy Tonk's inner need to trade in words. And you are directed to another space, and you easily help them find their way there. And there's a feline-esque woman sweeping the front of her space, and could I get you all to just roll? This is going to be this is a persuasion check, and your rolls determine whether or not she lets you individually through the threshold.
24. Again.
Zix.
Okay.
Persuasion?
Yeah.
11.
Okay. She looks at the two of you and she's the lad is enough.
Name's Damaris.
Amorous?
Yeah.
Okay. Hi.
You're a sweet boy. Perhaps we could speak of arrangements one day.
Arrangements.
Yes, as you meet my daughter.
Oh, right. We'll see. Just some questions for now.
Well, that's how it begins.
I'm able to do wedding ceremonies, just so you know, if that helps convince anyone of anything.
Thanks.
Can you roll a sleight of voice check?
A whisper check.
A whisper check? Just do stealth. We'll see if you...
A sound check. 1, 2, 3. Test. 1, 2,
Let's
3.
just roll stealth. I just want to see if this...
14.
Oh, yes. Her smile just grows wider as you say that.
Okay, I'm gonna go.
You pop it. She allows you, and she continues to... The mother of the child continues to talk to you, and she's very suggestive in her language around which young men in the village would make appropriate choices for you. And she seems to have no... She's meddling.
Everybody's getting
Everybody's business.
Everyone's getting linked up with someone.
She's a matchmaker, basically. You enter in, and that's the important conversation is Tamaris is there.
Like, are you Tamaris?
Yes.
Hi. I had a question.
Yes. Please tell... No, I don't want to. Tell her I don't want any.
What?
My mother?
Oh, no, not about her.
Oh, that's new.
In the fur tent, there's a fur that has, it's like blue with like, it looks like a starry sky.
Oh, my brother's last...
Yeah. Do you know where he got that? Like,
Yeah, he traveled much further than we've traveled before. And can you roll a persuasion check? See how persuasive you are. You did catch her off guard, so she's a little...
lucky. Lucky.
Oh dear.
This is the...
Not 20.
Okay.
Jesus. I guess that's what it's for.
Really quickly.
Just as this is happening in his head, he hears, also, maybe like, say, I don't know how many words that was. Say 8.
Also,
Maybe, like, say that was 4.
Oh, 4. Okay. Something like, so sorry for your loss on your brother. Our thoughts go to you. So sorry.
Also, we're very sorry to hear about your brother, and that's this felt very sad. Our hearts go out to you. But any help you could give us would be appreciated.
Well, so with a nat 20, I'm afraid my brother might be the reason the fetchers found us. He traveled past the forest, and he described the far, and she kind of like gestures. You're inside, but you kind of know in the direction that she's pointing far away is a almost indistinct, unreadable series of light purple smudges. More distinctly back towards Overton, you still see this purple smudges of the mountains that you are kind of nestled up against in Overton, and she's pointing in the opposite direction, really, not towards Canyonville, but in a different northernly arm past the forest that you've been traveling alongside, to another series of smudges, and she says, he told me he found it up in the mountains. It was a strange creature.
Okay.
Seemed to disappear into the sky.
Oh, it's like a bird? Or a...
Have you ever seen at night they flutter through so fast, but in the torchlight you sometimes catch a glimpse of them?
bat?
He described it like that, but different.
Okay. Is it obviously very large, given the size of the fur?
Oh, it apparently was not his hunt that succeeded, but rather it befouled itself. And he merely was the harvester.
Okay. Well, thank you very much for your help, and I'm sorry again about your brother, and also sorry that your mom tried to make us get married.
Yeah, don't agree to what she says. She doesn't. Just because she's the matchmaker for the village does not mean she has to be my matchmaker as well.
What about
Period.
What's it like to travel as you do?
Dangerous, interesting, terrifying, hilarious. It's a lot of different things.
How did you find your friends?
We were sort of pushed together during a ceremony in Overton, a coming of age ceremony, and we're sent on a quest together, and we just stayed together after that.
She nods and very much looks like she's done with you at this point.
There's in 2 weeks. How old is this kid?
She looks to be about your age, actually. She might be a little bit younger, but age is hard to tell when your face is furred.
In about 2 weeks, there's a trader caravan coming through. I bet they'd be glad to take you with them if you were looking for work and wanted to go on the road.
Opportunities.
All right. Thank you for your help.
Oh, yes, I owe you.
Why do you owe me?
She just shrugs her shoulders and she like kind of gestures like it's very much that teenage angst stuff.
I mean, you gave me the information about the animal. I gave you information about the caravan, and we're probably even.
And you gave me condolences. But if you feel it's even...
I'm good. We're good.
In Canyonville, different levels mean different things. Bye. She kind of like busies herself,
Okay.
almost shyly, like engaging in some sort of chore.
I'm gonna like do a thank you again, like a polite little bow, and then leave.
As you do the polite little bow and the thank you, she stops and... You're welcome, kind one. And you can tell, even as she's turning away, that her face is just one of disgust. Like, it wasn't you that the disgust was aimed at, but some other aspect of her culture and life that forced her to say that. All right, so you've information you can share with Tanzanite at some point. Sun is setting.
Smelled something weird for a second. I wanted to make sure it wasn't me.
Oh my god, is it me?
Oh God, this is the next TikTok from this podcast. People sniffing themselves like, okay.
Yeah, who pulls those weird clips anyway? I don't know who that is.
Me.
All right,
Is it you?
so
No, I'm good.
as the sun is setting, you see the folks gathering in the central square area. The lights of the torches have been either dimmed or less of them are lit, and the ceremony is about to begin. You've been kind of escorted up to that same area. You have guests, and Bonnie have been also brought forward, but not in the same position. And as you're all standing there, the ground shakes. And at first, it feels like the shaking of their voices when they speak with one another. And then you hear a familiar voice yell out, a release!
Oh shit.
And that's where we'll pick up.
No!
In the our first Saturday, the 18th.
We'll see you then.
Cut.
Okay, bye.
Bye!